Hello everyone, welcome to China Watch. In this episode, I will discuss how local governments in China are coping with the collapse of the real estate bubble and the extreme measures they are taking to address financial difficulties. Due to the decline in land revenue, some local governments are even struggling to pay wages. In desperation, they have resorted to various means to protect themselves.
From January to April this year, compared to the same period last year, China's fiscal situation saw general public budget revenue drop by 2.7%, tax revenue by 4.9%, deed tax by 7.1%, and land value-added tax by 4.5%. As housing prices fall, local governments can no longer sell land. After relying on land finance for 20 years, local governments are struggling to survive. Besides the central bank's monetary easing and issuing new debts to repay old ones, local governments have resorted to various methods to increase revenue, such as defaulting on payments, imposing fines, cutting salaries, and raising prices.
To rescue the real estate market, the CCP has tried various measures, such as lowering down payments, reducing loan interest rates without a bottom line, and having state-owned enterprises buy houses. However, housing prices continue to decline.
A real estate agent in Zhangjiago revealed to the Huaxia Times on May 31st that in Zaiweiwen district, which is only an hour's drive from Beijing, a two-bedroom apartment with a floor area of 60 square meters can be bought for 60,000 yuan. As housing prices fall, local government fiscal revenue also decreases. It's worth explaining that local fiscal revenue consists of four accounts: general public budget revenue, government fund budget revenue, state-owned capital operating budget revenue, and social insurance fund budget revenue. The first two are the main sources of local fiscal revenue, with significant volumes. Land transfer fees account for over 90% of government fund revenue and 30 to 40% of the combined general public budget revenue and government fund budget revenue. In provinces like Jiangsu and Zhejiang, the land dependence rate reaches about 50%. However, this is supported by China's high debt leverage ratio. How high is the local government debt? Explicit debt plus hidden debt from urban investment amounts to about 100 trillion yuan, covering almost the entire annual GDP. This means that the government debt leverage ratio is about 90%, a high-risk level.
As housing prices fall, land auction revenue can no longer sustain local governments. So, various income-increasing measures have emerged. I will briefly introduce a few.
Method 1. Defaulting on payments. Recently, mainland Weibo blogger Ma Jiangbo wrote in an article titled "The Mode of Mutual Betrayal Between Local Governments and Local Entrepreneurs, Both Heavily in Debt, has begun." Recently, the case of a female entrepreneur in Lipanshui, Guizhou, who was detained while trying to collect debts has drawn wide attention. It showed us the inevitable bad outcome when highly indebted provinces face the end of the borrowing spree. The article mentioned that the local government once proposed to resolve a 220 million yuan debt with 12 million yuan, which she refused. Eventually, the female entrepreneur was detained by local police on charges of picking quarrels and provoking trouble. Beware of the possible rogue behavior of some district and county governments. The article warned that most local entrepreneurs who once profited from political business resources may have to pay for the dividends of the past 20 years. It advised local entrepreneurs to be cautious. The times have changed, the old ways are gone. Most municipal and county government projects in backward regions are in debt, and it will be hard to get the money back because they simply don't have it. In just 3 years, Lipanshui's debt growth rate exceeded 300%. The article cited examples, saying Yunnan is also a major infrastructure and debt province. According to Yunnan's latest list of halted and delayed projects, the province has halted or delayed 1,153 projects with a total investment of 290.4 billion yuan, but only 2.551 billion yuan is available for debt resolution, less than 1%. It can be said that the funding for these projects mainly comes from bank loans, contractor advances, and bond issuance.
Anyone with sharp eyes knows that municipal and county governments' high-leverage infrastructure operations often involve shady deals. In this process, local governments get political achievements from extraordinary development, local relations get kickbacks, and local entrepreneurs get profits. Until the fiscal reservoir is shut off, a grand feast turns into a mess, and heavily indebted local governments and local entrepreneurs inevitably turn against each other.
The article concluded, "This is just the beginning. No one can reverse it." Method 2. Imposing fines. In 2023, a restaurant in Shanghai called Maifan Catering was fined 5,000 yuan for putting cold cucumber shreds on cold dishes like liangpi and had 119 yuan of illegal income confiscated because it didn't have a license for selling cold food. Some netizens mocked, "Liangpi and cucumber shreds lived together for half a lifetime, only to be fined for not having a license for cohabitation." Other places have come up with even more creative fines. In 2023, a grocery store in Shaanxi was fined 66,000 yuan for selling 2.5 kilograms of substandard celery. In September 2023, a programmer in Qingda, Hebei, was fined and had over 1 million yuan of illegal income confiscated for working remotely via VPN. In 2022, Qingda's tax revenue fell by 19.9% year-on-year, while fines and confiscations reached 990 million yuan, a year-on-year increase of 13%.
This crude way of generating income is becoming more and more common. In Kailu County, Inner Mongolia, farmers who converted grassland to farmland were required to pay millions in additional contract fees, leading to the farce of forbidding plowing.
In 2021, the Bazhou city government improperly linked fines to revenue collection units' expenditures, incorporating them into the performance evaluations of township-level leadership teams and cadres. This was formally issued as a red-headed document, making fines a political task.
Phishing-style fines, campaign-style law enforcement, carpet-style money searching produced remarkable results. In just 3 months, Bazhou fined and confiscated nearly 200 million yuan, accounting for 30% of the fiscal budget, which was over 900 times more than usual, involving 2,547 companies, with an average fine and fee of 26,400 yuan per company, in addition to countless individuals and self-employed households being fined indiscriminately.
Campaign-style law enforcement and systematic fines have made life difficult for the people and filled the air with tension. Method 3. Salary cuts. Times have changed, and iron rice bowls are now no different from mud rice bowls. Civil servants are also facing widespread salary cuts. According to a Tsingtao Daily report last December, the recent salary reductions for civil servants in Guangdong circulated on social media. Shenzhen's salaries dropped from over 360,000 yuan to over 250,000 yuan, Zhuhai's from 280,000 yuan to about 200,000 yuan. After the salary cuts, Guangdong provincial-level organs offered salaries of over 220,000 yuan, Foshan and Dingguan 200,000 yuan, and Huizhou and Jiangmen 140,000 yuan, with Zhongshan offering between 150,000 and 200,000 yuan. A civil servant in Beijing named Xiao Fan told a Tsingtao Daily reporter that although the basic salary hadn't changed this year, various allowances and bonuses had been cut by tens of thousands of yuan. As a result, the Bureau established a salary reduction office to remove previously unreasonable benefits. According to multiple media reports, including 21st Century Business Herald, doctors at Beijing Tongren Hospital saw significant salary reductions in August 2023, with performance bonuses and night shift allowances cut by 50%. Su Hong, who lives in Guangzhou and Kunming, told Radio Free Asia in April that her sister, a teacher at a public institution, had her annual performance salary canceled. She said her salary had dropped by 45% compared to 2018, with an annual salary of less than 200,000 yuan. Su's sister, who teaches Senior 3 and serves as a head teacher, earned nearly 400,000 yuan in 2018.
The era of comprehensive salary cuts has arrived, even affecting the military. According to an Epoch Times report, a post on mainland social media last edited on December 18, 2023, stated, many research institutes in aerospace, China electronics, China shipbuilding, and weapons are beginning to cut salaries by 5% to 30%.
In April 2022, an anonymous post online revealed that the poster, who joined the 41st Institute of the 6th Academy of China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation in 2020, had a monthly pre-tax income of about 10,000 yuan from July to December 2020, 8,000 yuan from January to June 2021, and 6,000 yuan plus a year-end performance bonus from July to December 2021. Method 4. Price increases. On April 17, 2024, an eye-catching article on NetEase titled, "With Land Finance Stalled, Water, Electricity, and Gas Prices Are All Rising," stated, Shanghai raised water prices for the first time in 10 years, with the highest tier increasing by over 50%. Guangzhou released a water price reform plan with an increase of nearly 34%. Other places like Xianying, Wuhu, Nancheng, Guangzhou, and Xujing also raised water prices, with increases ranging from 10% to 50%. Shenzhen, Fuzhou, Zhenjiang, and 125 other cities and counties released plans to raise pipeline natural gas prices. Chongqing residents complained about the accelerated speed of gas meters, effectively doubling the hidden gas fees. The Chongqing government responded that an investigation found the complaints to be largely true. Guangdong, Hunan, Anhui, Jiangsu, and several other provinces announced electricity price adjustment plans, implementing a new round of provincial power grid transmission and distribution prices, with the highest increase reaching 30%. A securities firm's report stated that the prices of public services such as water, electricity, and gas in Chinese cities are still relatively low and could triple. Not only are water, electricity, and gas prices rising, but China Railway also announced that 4 high-speed rail lines would raise ticket prices starting June 15th, with most routes seeing first and second-class ticket prices rise by nearly 20% and luxury business class prices rising by nearly 40%. CCP Media shamelessly claimed that raising public service prices for water, electricity, and gas was to guide the economy out of deflation. A netizen commented, "Your kneeling posture is so standard. Where did you learn it?" The comment received nearly 8,000 likes.
It seems the privileged class, in desperation, is sharpening their knives against the common people. We hope that many friends will join in being whistleblowers, collecting life-saving information, and sharing it with more friends and family. Make cautious decisions to protect your hard-earned assets, and don't wait until the scythe comes to cry out in pain. That's all for today's program. If you like our show, please subscribe, like, and share.